literacy is the basic knowledge required to deal with a modern technological society. The breakneck speed of technological innovation will make risk literacy as indispensable in the 21st century as reading and writing were in previous centuries. Without it, you jeopardize your health and money, or may be manipulated into unrealistic fears and hopes. One might think that the basics of risk literacy are already being taught. Yet, you will look in vain for it in most high schools, law schools, medical schools, and beyond. As a result, most of us are risk illiterate. When I use the general term risk savvy, I refer not to just risk literacy, but also more broadly to situations where not all risks are known and calculable. Risk savvy is not the same as risk aversion. Without taking risks, innovation would end, as would fun, and courage would belong to the past. Nor does risk savvy mean turning into a reckless daredevil or base jumper, denying the possibility of landing on one's nose. Without a beneficial degree of caution, humans would have ceased to exist long ago. You might think, why bother if there are experts to consult? But it isn't that simple. Bitter experience teaches that expert advice may be a dangerous thing. Many doctors, financial advisors, and other risk experts themselves misunderstand risks or are unable to communicate them in an understandable way. Worse, quite a few have conflicts of interest or are so afraid of litigation that they recommend actions to clients they would never recommend to their own families. You have no choice but to think for yourself. I'd like to invite you into the world of uncertainty and risk, beginning with weather reports and a very humble hazard, getting soaked. Chances of rain. A weathercaster on U.S. television once announced the weather this way: "The probability that it will rain on Saturday is 50%. The chance that it will rain on Sunday is also 50%. Therefore, the probability that it will rain on the weekend is 100%. Most of us will smile at this. But do you know what it means when the weather report announces a 30% chance of rain tomorrow? 30% of what? I live in Berlin. Most Berliners believe that it will rain tomorrow 30% of the time. That is, for 7 to 8 hours. Others think that it will rain in 30% of the region. That is, most likely not where they live. Most New Yorkers think both are nonsense. They believe that it will rain on 30% of the days for which this announcement is made. That is, there will most likely be no rain at all tomorrow. Are people hopelessly confused? Not necessarily. Part of the problem is the experts who never learned how to explain probabilities in the first place. If they clearly stated the class to which a chance of rain refers, the confusion would disappear. Time? Region? Days? What meteorologists intend to say is that it will rain on 30% of the days for which this prediction is made. And rain refers to any amount above some tiny threshold, such as 0.01 inches. Left on their own, people intuitively fill in a reference class that makes sense to them, such as how many hours, where, or how heavily it rains. More imaginative minds will come up with others still. As one woman in New York said, "I know what 30% means. 3 meteorologists think it will rain, and 7 not." Here is my point. New forecasting technology has enabled meteorologists to replace mere verbal statements of certainty, "It will rain tomorrow," or chance, "It is likely," with numerical precision. But greater precision has not led to greater understanding of what the message really is. The confusion over probabilities of rain has persisted in